Hi. And I'm a performer and music instructor in this area. And that's pretty much what I love. And my goal is to rehabilitate artists and flood them out there and get them doing what they need and want to do. So this is part of a series of workshops that I'm giving for that purpose. Okay. Now we're going to start with, as I go through, I'm going to be working on the keyboard and showing you stuff. I may show you my back, which is against stage manners. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay.
Should we run over there and sit?
No, I'm going to have you probably gather around the piano at some points, okay? So anyway, the first thing we're going to do is define music. Music is the art of sound in time that expresses ideas and emotions in forms using various elements. The elements are rhythm, melody, harmony, and sound quality. And I'm going to give you basic definitions on each one of those. Rhythm is a pattern of beats, okay? And a beat, a lot of people don't know what that is. And a beat is not necessarily something you hear, but it's something you feel. So if I have a little light that flashes exactly the same interval apart, you would be able to turn your head and you would know where that light would flash. Okay? That's a beat. Right? It's not something, sometimes there's nothing happening on the beat. You may have a whole period of silence for certain instruments, but you see when the conductor's doing this, he's giving you the beat. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that even the people sitting way in the back can all be together as they play. Okay, and as we go, if there are questions, please ask me. I want everybody, I don't want to see little question marks above anybody's head, so that would be really good. Okay, so rhythm is a pattern of beats, and it can be any pattern of beats. As you know, there are different rhythms. There's like marching, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, da, 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 that kind of thing. You can have da, 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 da. There's a pattern of beats, okay? No particular pitches, but just beats across time. All right, melody. Melody and harmony go together. Melody is the part of the song that you would sing if you sang along with the radio or sang along with a piece of opera, okay? So that's the part that that you would sing, okay? The singers always sing the melody. Harmony are the notes that are put with the melody to make it sound prettier, or to give it a certain, how can I say, color? I don't know if that communicates, but to make it sound a certain way. And when you have a melody, you can put different notes behind it to make it communicate different things, okay? You can take a happy melody and put sad harmonies behind it, and it suddenly might be a little more sad. So that's what harmony
give it to some kind of emotion?
Yeah, yeah. And when you think in terms of paintings and you think in terms of colors, right, and the colors and the different ways they're put together to create a certain emotion, it's the same with music. You know, you can put anything together with anything to create whatever you want to create in music. And that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about color. Also, sound quality goes into that as well. That's sort of another thing we're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. Melody, I still didn't duplicate that completely.
That's the part you sing.
Okay, it's just sing.
Right. So if I'm sitting here listening to the Star Spangled Banner, right? There's trumpets, there's trombones, everything's going along. But what I'm going to sing is, oh, say, can you see? Right? That is the melody. Okay, so that's the piece that you see on the top. When the opera lady gets up and if you were to sing along with it, that's what you would sing, and that's the melody. Okay, is that making sense?
So it's just physically the singing part?
It's not necessarily always sung. It can be something that's played. A violin plays the melody. Okay. Now let's say you take. There's a piece of music written by Bach, my favorite composer, and it's. Hi, come on in. Thank you so much.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
And it's a piece that the melody goes. Thank you so much. Okay, and the harmony part is da 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 da, right? The cellos are going ba da ba da, and the violin's going. Does that make more sense?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep going.
Yeah,
Totally
keep going.
Okay, name a song, and I will sing the melody, and we'll figure out the harmony for it. something I
Help me.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Happy
Now, even if you were to sit down and play Happy Birthday on the piano, you would know it's Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
And even if there are no words to it, you go ba 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 ba. And then on the, underneath, somebody else might be singing or playing brum, 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 to make it sound better or fuller or give it more character.
So like the drums underneath are not the melody, it's the harmony kind of thing.
Kinda. Drums are really more of a percussion instrument, meaning that they're doing time.
Yeah,
Drums are kind of about time, although they can be pitch.
okay,
Pitch meaning how high or low the note is.
okay,
Is that working?
kind of.
Okay, where did I lose you?
I'm still trying to differentiate between melody and harmony.
Okay, well, let's look at melody.
I think it's melody that I'm having a time.
I'm gonna turn my back to
Just
you.
a moment and
Hmm?
bring them up to date. We're gonna bring them through
Oh.
the first definition.
Yeah, we're going through the definitions here of music. Yeah, and I find that's a really good one. The time element is very important in music. It's sounds in time that are designed to create a certain emotion.
Sure.
Okay. And then music notation, system of musical symbols that communicates a piece of music as written by the composer across space and time to those who will play it. Right, so that goes across space. I can send it to China, and even though they don't speak English, they can still play my composition. And across time, I can sit down and play Beethoven's compositions as intended by him hundreds of years later. So that's the purpose of music notation. It's just a system of symbols like your alphabet. A, B, C, D. Those are just symbols for sounds, right? A, B, B, right? And you studied that and drilled it and drilled it and wrote it for years probably. So now you can just sit down and read a book, and it's easy, okay? The same thing, it's just a different set of symbols and a different types of sounds, and that's all that it is. It has its own alphabet, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to start from the very bare page and come up through those symbols so you have a good working knowledge. Okay, good. And then we went over, we were talking about rhythm, which is a pattern of beats. We discussed that a beat is not necessarily something you hear always, but it's something you feel. Okay, so if you have a flashing light and you turn your head, you still know when it's going to flash. That's the beat. When the conductor is doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, he's giving you the beat. So that everybody in the orchestra,
Okay.
yeah, he's not just,
I never
woo!
really understood that. That makes a lot, I mean, I knew he was doing something like that, but
Yeah.
when you said the light thing, that kind of makes sense.
Good, good.
The hand motions kind of, yeah, cool.
Yeah, because as you know, sound travels a lot more slowly than sight, right? So the guys sitting in the way back, if they were listening to the people up front, by the time they heard the violins, they'd already be way behind. So you have to have the guy in front going, here's where we're one, so you know where you're at. And that's his job. Okay, so rhythm, pattern of beats. Melody and harmony is where we are now. Now, I'll give you a little demonstration. We were talking about melody as the part of the song that if you sat down to sing a song or to try to sing along with something, you would sing that part. Harmony are the notes that go with it. Okay, so let's say I take okay, now that's a nice little piece of music, right? That's a melody. Now here's the harmony. Oops. That's the harmony. Okay. Let's see how many do
So it's melody expanded.
Yes, that works. Okay, good. It is. And it's a bunch of, and it can be like this, it can be. You hear that a lot, especially with, I forget what period there was, but that's a certain. So when you see a string quartet playing, you usually have the first violins going, and the cellos, not to say they always do that. The melody can, you might probably hear a melody in the violin section, and then sometimes mirrored by the cellos, or the flutes, or whatever else, depending on what the composer had in mind.
So then it would be true then if you were just doing acoustic guitar that you would just be doing a melody and then you could add a harmony to this. You could get as simple as melody,
Yeah.
or you could add harmony.
Right, exactly. And, you know, usually when people start playing the guitar, they start playing chords, right? Chords are just notes put together in a certain pattern that go along with the melody. Okay? They're sort of a harmony tool, okay? Here I have, that's a chord, I'm playing them all together,
Okay.
okay?
Whereas if you just did a melody, it would just be B, 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 B,
Yeah, pretty much.
and then you're kind of grouping.
Yeah, and we can just break any one of these rules that we have anytime we want, but in general, yeah, that's what happens, okay? So, there was something else I wanted to go into depth on that I just said, and I didn't want to leave with another MU.
Melody, harmony,
Oh,
chord.
melody, harmony, chord, guitars. When you put your fingers and play more than one string,
Yeah.
you're playing a harmony, okay? Vroom.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you sing along with it. Happy birthday to me, strum, strum, happy birthday. The strum, strum part is the harmony.
Harmony.
Right.
Yeah. And what you're singing is a melody.
Right.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Okay, good. And you could go bling, ding, ding, bing, bing with your guitar.
Yeah, yeah, you could
Okay.
just simply do that.
Right.
Along with, and you would just be, they would all be melody.
Right. Good, working?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, let's move on. Okay, sound quality, I put that as sort of a garbage pail definition for things like the type of instrument and their characteristics. Like a tuba has a very, you know, you go, ooh, that's a tuba every time you hear that, right? A flute, you know, is super high, airy, fluty. A violin, you know, you can tell those instruments, and how you tell them is the sound quality. It's also known as timbre. Okay, timbre is the thing that gives each instrument its own specific characteristic.
It's T-A,
I'm sorry, T-I-M-B-R. Yeah, yeah,
pronounced timbre.
pronounced timbre, written timbre, R-E. Yeah. Okay, good. Any questions on music and music notation? Okay.
I mean, this, what I see when I look at listening to like big band or jazz, that there's a melody and different instruments will pick up and play the melody with other instruments as the harmony
Right.
as you go through. So
Right.
melody might be trumpets, it might be clarinets, it might be piano, it might be something else.
Mm-hmm,
And
exactly.
the other things all back it up when it's not their turn.
Right, exactly. And it can float through the orchestra. In fact, many times it does, you know. There's, I've been listening to a series of lectures by Dr. Robert Greenberg, who is brilliant. If you ever get a chance to listen to his lectures, they're beautiful. And he talks about composition, how you put them together, what this is, what that is. It's really amazing what these composers sat down and did when they did it. And it makes you want to just dig in and start doing it. You know, I can do that too. So, okay, good. So I'm going to erase this. You have it all down? Everybody's good?